Hello, it's Audrey from Odds and Ends. Welcome to another edition of July Junk Journal Challenge 2025, otherwise known as hashtag JJJC2025. It's hosted by Lee's Art and Junk Journal Wonderland, and today's prompt is tag. And this is the first time I ever crafted under the camera. It's a first. Be kind. Yes, the camera position needs to be changed a little bit because you couldn't see the bottom of the screen very well. My bad. But I did it. I got over the fear of doing it. I thought I was done, and then I had to restart the video again because I didn't like how long the tag is. So right now I'm just showing you what I'm using, and it is more convenient to pull out everything you're going to use and do it because I'm not constantly digging through my stuff. It was already there because I'd already determined what I was going to use. However, sometimes, things take longer and I was nervous. But I did it. It's a very simple page. So I thought this was a good one to try it out. And the problem is that I do it in the dining room. Everybody's coming in and out and in and out and in and out. You can hear the TV in the background, and I'm hoping I can edit that out. At least I didn't have music playing because, YouTube doesn't like the music. TV doesn't usually complain. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. And no one really talked to me while I was crafting. I might have commented once or twice. So, they behaved. The dogs didn't throw a fit. But here I am. This is a little money envelope to give money away. And I had a whole bunch of them at one time. I only have a few left. They're beautiful. I love them. Did I ever put money in these? I seriously doubt it. Maybe once. I usually use them for crafting. My StazOn has pretty much, there's not enough color left in it. Very dry. And then stamping on the newspaper, I could barely see it. So when picked out, I'm like, I just bought a distressed orange. Let's try that. Now, looking back at this, I probably should have stamped it the other way because I ended up gluing the flap open, and so all my string lights are now upside down. But I just keep telling myself it was windy and the wind was blowing, flipping them up, and it doesn't bother me as much. I had no intention of flipping it down. I didn't realize that the envelope was the exact same size as my paper, and I didn't want it. I didn't want it flipping up all the way. I wanted it flipped down. So I'm like, okay. So I ended up gluing it down, and then, like I said, the stencil's upside down. But that's okay. I don't hate it. I'm good with it. Move all my mess out of the way. Like I said, the camera should be moved down a little bit. I don't need the top of my workstation so visible. But you gotta start somewhere. And I obviously wasn't gonna redo all of this and not show you since I've already done it. So, yeah. And then when I get my craft room back, if I get it back, I am getting it back. My son will move out. When I get it back, then I can craft live and talk throughout it, which will make it a lot easier. But when you're in the dining room, it's kind of hard because people keep coming in to talk to you. And the animals go crazy. It's right by the kitchen. And I don't have enough room in my bedroom to craft anymore. So it is what it is. So I got these papers. I think I got a package of 25, 50 from Temu. It was one of my last orders. And I love it, except it's bigger than what I need. But I like the outline on it. So what I decided to do is tear out the middle and put it on a piece of heavier cardstock, because this is what's going to be my tag. So I fold in half, easy peasy. Cut the cardstock just slightly bigger because I wanted a little bit of the brown to poke through. Not a lot, but I wanted it in the middle on one of the edges. And you can see, I like both sides. I'm like, I don't want to cut that with that. I said, I'm just going to tear it out. I didn't want a sharp edge. And I didn't ink it up. I don't always ink things. Sometimes I just like them as is. And I did keep the middle part. I will use it on another project. But I do need to trim down this piece of brown cardstock, which ended up being a hair bigger than I planned. But it's okay. It's not too big and I didn't have to retrim it. And I just need to glue this down. And it seems like I work so much slower than when I'm doing these voiceovers. Oh. And the man in the robe that I'm using as my focal piece on this tag is actually one of like 25, 30 bookmark bookmark cards that I got. It had their tarot card scenes. And I think this is number 12. But he looks like a wise man, and I thought he looked, out of all of the ones I had, he looked the most appropriate for this particular genre that I'm doing today. And I need to fill up my glue bottle, but it's glued on, so I must have not cleaned off the threads the last time I put the lid on. And yesterday I tried to get the lid off so I could refill it, and it was not going anywhere, absolutely nowhere at all. So I'm like, okay, just give it up. There's still glue in there, but I like it, once it gets to like a quarter of it, I like to fill it up, because you don't have to squeeze so hard and you don't have to fight it the whole time. I'm like, and then I was trying to decide if I really wanted them the same way. I'm like, yeah, I do. And I decided that it was easier to see where you glued if you glued on the dark as opposed to the white background paper, because you can see how much glue you're putting down. And this particular glue, I like it. It dries very, very quickly though, and you don't need very much, and it stays stuck. And it's very good for gluing down metal. All my charms that I've used, they stay down. They don't pop back off, and I'm very impressed with it. And I got the smaller bottle just because it's easier to use, and then I got the big giant bear refill that goes with this. Here's the little wise tarot man. And I was trying to debate if I wanted it centered, and I didn't want it centered. Not exactly, anyway. I mean, evenly spaced on there, but more to the left than to the right. Then I made a tag, and later on you'll see that tag was too long, did not like it, so I ended up off camera adjusting it. And then adding a little bit more onto it. I've had this particular stapler for forever. It has the wide decorative staples. It doesn't always staple nicely though. This time I lucked out. But half the time only one side will staple, the other side just gets smushed. Kind of like when you're using a crappy eyelet setter. But this time it worked. I'm very impressed. I was like, okay, yay, I'm on camera. I don't have to fight with it. It's not going to embarrass me. And here I'm going to tell you that sometimes it embarrasses me anyway. And then you're going to watch me fussy cut these stickers because I really, really did not like the white edges on it. And then I decided that the handle was not absolutely necessary on this piece of luggage, because I said, do I really want to get the razor blade out and cut the white of the inside of the handle out? No, I didn't really. I just decided that it was easier just to cut the handle off instead. And there's just 3 of them. It didn't take me that long. But these particular stickers you do have to glue down. They do not stick very well. Okay, I guess I should say, paraphrase that. They do not stick very well on textured paper. So I did add a little bit of glue. When I was attaching it to the project. And then one more. And I swear it didn't feel like it took this long when I was actually doing it. Now I have to figure out if I can remember how to remove the original sound on here. And I know there is a way to do it. Normally I don't edit videos. I just take the videos and post them. But I'm trying to be able to piece videos together. If it's too windy or too loud, or do voiceovers so I can actually actively show you me creating at least once a week or so anyway. I like to watch other people create, so I figured you guys might like it as well. I had this one sticker, and I didn't add glue. It seemed to stick down pretty well on its own. I just love trying to get these stickers started, and I have no nails. And some of these stickers work out a lot better than others. Yeah, I was really fighting, trying to get these stickers to peel apart. I was thinking to myself, why did I think I needed to film this? Trim out the sticker that's stuck over the edge. So that is my tag. Or glue down the envelope. I do kind of feel bad about gluing over the back of this envelope, but it is what it is. And this particular one matched the vintage page on the other side better than the other colors. These little rectangular tags with the holes in them, those came on my papers. The paper I'm using inside the tag. It was just there, how they packaged it. I have no idea what it says. Probably doesn't say anything. It's probably a brand name. I don't know, but I liked it. And I looked through all my my brads. I was looking for a dragonfly, and I may have used them all, or there might be one just still floating around, and that's what I was going to do, and I couldn't find it, so I settled on a little flower, and then I realized that the hole is too big for that little flower right there. Wouldn't have held it. So, okay, I'm not going to use it for there right now. And then glue down the stickers. I fussy cut it out. Once I get it opened, the struggle is real. Then I bought these little coins from Hobby Lobby when they were on clearance, and I knew I wanted to use one of them. I'm going to put it on the back with the tag together. And I glued it on the flap of the envelope, and then I decided that the envelope was never going to be flipped around again, so why was I struggling? And then I ended up just gluing all of it straight down so it doesn't come up. But you don't know when you have an idea in your head and you're like, okay, this will work, and then you're like, okay, it's not worth it. Just do it this way instead. But yeah, this glue works great on metal. So far, no complaints at all. I had a better glue I liked, but I can't find it on Amazon. All the vendors are out of it. Now I know certain glues don't get shipped in the winter, but it's summer now. At least summer here. I don't buy candles in the summer because they melt. I can't buy candles to come to my house, or candy, anything soft. Like, don't send them to me now because they'll just melt unless you have it seriously wrapped well. Glue on the word tag. And then I decided that I was done. And I'm not done. ah. Okay, here I'm gluing down the tag. When you're doing the voiceover in the iMovie, it's half the screen is cut off. So you're like, okay, you can kind of see it as shadow. So I was showing you I was done. And then I come back. And I folded the tag into itself because I didn't really want to cut it. And then I'm going to glue the two halves together. And I'm going to add the other tag on this and the brad, and then I'm cutting off the little brad because the little arms on the brad, actually, or legs, or however you want to call them, was sticking out. And there's such thin metal that scissors just snip real quick. And then I glued them together. And the reason I decided to do that is the back, the staple, was poking through, and when I tried to stick the tag in the pocket, the staple kept catching on it and not going all the way into the pocket. I'm like, I know the pocket's deep enough, why aren't you fitting? And then I realized it was the staple that was catching. So I said, okay, I'll glue something on the back so it doesn't catch anymore, and the tag can go all the way into the pocket. There we go. Yay. It fits. It sticks out just a little bit now. Perfect. I don't mind things sticking out. I just don't like it overwhelming. And I want to keep this quick. And here is it all together next to